Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank the gentleman from California for yielding. Madam Speaker, I want to first thank my friend from Nevada for working with us on this legislation. This is important. I want to thank my colleague from Louisiana, Mr. Carter, as well as Congresswoman Gonzalez-Colon from Puerto Rico. These are all folks, Madam Speaker, that have been through the aftermath of disasters. And of course, the lead sponsor that we're working on this legislation with is the chair of the disaster subcommittee. Just to explain what happens here, in the aftermath of a disaster, and as the gentleman from California noted, this could be a forest fire, it could be a flood, it could be a hurricane, earthquake, or other types of disasters. You have an alphabet soup of agencies that come in and offer assistance. It could be FEMA, could be Small Business Administration, could be Department of Agriculture, could be the Department of Housing and Urban Development or others. Madam Speaker, the last thing in the world the victim of a disaster needs is to be re-victimized by their own government bureaucracy. Whether your home was destroyed in a forest fire, it was blown away in a flood, it was destroyed in a hurricane, you need help. You don't need bureaucracy. Yet, each agency has its own process. This bill brings common sense to that. It relieves the stress of being a disaster victim, and then it provides a universal application. You do it one time, the data is shared, you don't have to come in and fill out the same information over and over and over again. I wish somebody could do this at a doctor's office. Just make a note. Madam Speaker, this bill goes beyond there, though. It also ensures that as taxpayers, we're not coming in and spending money over and over and over again on the same homes. It changes the threshold for assistance to come in and offer hazard mitigation assistance for these homes to make them more resilient, to address vulnerabilities. It ensures that if someone floods or is a repetitive flood, we don't allow it to continue happening. We bring solutions to the table. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but in the district that I represent, there was a home that got flood insurance claims 42 times. 42 times. As ridiculous as it is as a taxpayer to see that happen, can you imagine the homeowner having to go through this over and over and over again? Thankfully, we've solved that problem in that case, but this bill prevents further similar problems from occurring. And lastly, Madam Speaker, and I want to thank my friend from Louisiana for working with us on Section 12 in this legislation. This clarifies something that we did in the Disaster Response Reform Act of 2018 that ensures if you have a local entity like a sheriff's office or others that brings a housing solution to the table that is at least 50% or less the cost of what a similar solution would cost the federal government, they can get reimbursed for that. Said another way, Madam Speaker, this saves the federal government 50% of the money or more of housing solutions whenever a local agency like a sheriff's office or others bring solutions to the table for their own victims. As my friend from Nevada has said, in some cases we have seen where FEMA is spending $250,000 per trailer. $250,000. We've seen local entities come in and bring solutions to the table for $32,000, turning around, selling the trailers back, and recouping everything but $7,000. This is about taxpayers. It's about efficiency. It's about better solutions, more resilient communities. I urge adoption of this amendment and yield back.